Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
It is the only reporter-owned and operated newsroom covering our nation's capital. It is the Blacklocks Reporter, something I recommend your subscription to at blacklocks.ca. You'll find the kind of stuff that you simply won't find anywhere else. They do a great job of keeping their eyes and ears on Ottawa. And every Wednesday morning at this time, the managing editor of Blacklocks Reporter, Tom Korski, joins us for a little chat. Tom, good morning.
Morning, Mike.
The federal NDP leadership race is underway. Somebody wants to lead that beleaguered party in Ottawa, but it seems as though the interim leader right now has a pretty good idea of what went wrong for the New Democrats.
Very candid comments. His name is Don Davies. He's originally from Alberta, now MP for Vancouver Kingsway. Was former counsel for the Teamsters in the day. So he comes from the trade union side of the party. That's the old Farmer Labor Party in the West. I've known Mr. Davies for 40 years, and I was not surprised. He had very candid comments. He said the party was burnt to the ground, got immersed in identity politics, was a waste of time, that the Conservatives beat them with a stick when it came to dealing with the working people, especially the working poor, and went on to say that they were distracted, as he put it, his words, about drag reading in libraries or trans women in sports when they should have been talking about real bread and butter, and puts it all on the former leader, Jagmeet Singh. Fatal mistake, the beginning of the end, he said, when Jagmeet voted confidence 3 times when in the Liberal cabinet, the Trudeau cabinet, when they were up in the polls, Mike, they were up to 21%. Fatal mistake, he said. And now where are they?
Exactly, where are they? And how do they possibly recover from this, Tom, I think is a big question.
They have a leadership contest now. They'll elect a new leader March 29th in Winnipeg. They just started to set up the infrastructure for that yesterday. I have to say, I'm not the amazing Kreskin, Mike, but the last time that they lost party status, you're crawling out of a deep hole. That's a 15-year project for the New Democratic Party. And the last time that they played in even what Davies describes as a coalition with the Liberal Party, that goes way back to David Lewis. You know, they ate that at the doorstep for a generation. I knew New Democrats who complained at the time. This goes back to the early 80s. They said every time they went to the door and someone would say, why would I vote for you if you're just going to vote Liberal? What do I need the middleman for? It took them a long time to live that down.
Speaking of Liberals, Prime Minister Carney appointing the other week his person to lead the Nation Building Projects office, a woman by the name of Dawn Farrell. There's been much said about her, particularly her office being in Calgary. What do we know about Ms. Farrell?
Well, she has one unique distinction, almost unique, not unprecedented, but a rare, extraordinary distinction among former heads of Crown corporations. She used to be chief executive of Trans Mountain when it was owned by taxpayers. And she was named in a federal court filing by government lawyers for breaching an act of Parliament. She was twice ignored direct orders, which, by the way, have the weight of court orders, by the Information Commissioner to disclose information concerning public records sought by the public under the Access to Information Act. She had to be taken to court, Mike. They had to drag her before a federal judge before she would comply with an order of the Information Commissioner in compliance with an act of Parliament. Why does this even matter? I'll tell you. There are concerns. This has been expressed by old-timers right here in Ottawa, that that special projects office is all behind closed doors, that there are going to be people cutting up deals, and no one is going to know what's happening. They're not doing this in public. And this woman, the Queen of Secrets, the woman who had to be taken to federal court, Dawn Farrell, is the last person you want if you're worried about transparency or accountability. Oh, watch that office. Keep a close eye on that one.
Well, we'll have to now. And this is the frustrating part, Tom, for folks who believe that what we have done by virtue of this last election is kind of reelected the same old, same old. It's a different face at the top in Mark Carney, but with this difficulty getting answers and things happening in secret, we believe, is it really that much different a Liberal Party right now?
No, there's no doubt. You're into year 11. I mean, when you're 11 years, managing the team, and which is what Cabinet has been doing under its various iterations, I mean, it's not like you save the good stuff, the jam and cookies for year 11. What you see is pretty much what you get. Parliament's back, on the 15th? I think it's going to be a box of fireworks, Mike, I really do. They don't have the votes in committees. The opposition is steaming mad. I think the era of good feeling that lasted all summer is it's fading. It's fading in the twilight, Mike.
All right. I'm going to file this in the "if you don't laugh, you'll cry" department, because I read about this program from time to time, and it always makes me cringe. And here we are again, going back to a Trudeau-era program. But like you just said, we're in year 11 anyway. 2 billion trees, Tom. We are planting 2 billion trees in this country. It was a promise. How much have we spent on the trees we have not yet planted of that 2 billion?
Oh, it's staggering, isn't it? Department of Natural Resources, this goes back 2 campaigns. They have spent $268 million. They're short of their target, 89%. My favorite was a public service manager in charge of tree planting, questioned in committee, who said, we're probably never going to plant 2 billion trees anyhow. To which one MP, Michael Cram from Regina, said, so why do you call it the 2 billion tree program? And she said, well, we wanted to rally interest among Canadians. We wanted to get people excited about tree planting. The gazillion tree program. It was sad and funny.
All right, one more before I let you go, and that is a class action lawsuit that alleges racism in government workplaces. That's what the suit alleges. What has a federal judge said about that suit?
Dismissed the case. This is the second time a federal judge in 5 months has thrown out class action claims by federal employees alleging systemic workplace discrimination. In both cases, the judges came to very similar conclusions. As the federal judge said in this case, the fact that what did he say? The plaintiffs accepted being identified as racialized does not necessarily mean you have experienced racism or discrimination, end of quote. In other words, there is no smoking gun. There is no memo that says do not promote or hire racialized people. Feelings and suspicions are not enough. Class action lawsuits a very high bar, Mike, and they haven't met it yet.
Tom, love the work that you do. Keep it up, and we'll talk in a week's time.
Thank you, Michael.
Tom Korski is the managing editor of the Blacklocks Reporter, the only reporter-owned and operated newsroom covering our nation's capital with neither politics nor punditry. You'll get there at blacklocks.ca, what you won't get anywhere else. I strongly encourage you to check it out. The subscription cost is certainly worth it for the great work that these reporters are doing. Just looking at blacklocks.ca and Minding Ottawa is where you'll find them on X. And one of the recent posts, thanks for the reminder, I've just resubscribed. Proud to support all the vital work that you do. It is important. That's why Blacklocks does the work that it does, and why we bring managing editor Tom Korski on to this show every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. A little bit of minding Ottawa's business on the Mike Farwell Show.